Hey everybody, so I am headed to the end of an estate sale. Like I had told you in that little community post, I got sick at the end of our vacation, and so I wasn't able to go to this estate sale sooner. And I'm excited because it's the first estate sale of the season for me. Even this company, it's their first one of the season. They just tend not to do them in the winter here in Montana. And then I had some prior commitments this morning, and so it's Saturday afternoon. I'm headed out to the end of the estate sale. A lot of times this company will do like a 50% off sale at the last few hours. They start marking things down. And so we're going to see if there's any deals. Now, I wasn't like super excited about this sale anyway when I saw the pictures. It's not exactly my kind of thing. But it should just be interesting. It was someone who was in like the film or video industry. They had won Emmys. They have a lot of mid-century furniture, which will probably be out of my price range. A lot of art, which will also be out of my price range. So it wasn't like there was pictures of like the kitchen and all, like, you know, the stuff that I like to dig around in. So I'm just going to see if there's anything left at this estate sale that I can just pick up, that's a good price or whatever. The kind of stuff that you guys know that, you know, even office supplies, office stuff, kitchen stuff. I don't know. I don't even know if that stuff is included in the sale or not. So it's just kind of for fun, and I'll just see if there's anything that kind of fits my niches or anything I even know about. It's a little bit of a drive. Everything is around here, and so we're just gonna go check it out. Like I drove into one of these rain clouds that you saw in the footage. Anyway, let's see what we find. A pretty spot. Still quite a few cars here, so I think I'll just park at the end of the line. Looks like where people have been parking all day. It's a good, oh. Can you see it okay?
Oh, the Maury? Yeah. Oh my God, that I don't know if she'll burn her own. But she wanted the prices right. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you know, I'm not super big about footage inside people's houses. I try to keep it kind of low key and just kind of little ideas of what the sale kind of looks like. But anyway, I was right. It wasn't like the owner, I think, had just, they said had like cleaned out the kitchen herself. She had cleaned out. So there weren't a whole lot of personal items as far as things like that. But mostly the artwork, books, CDs, camera equipment, because as we said, he was into filmmaking. So if like, yeah, a lot of stuff's still there. I don't know if it's just overpriced or if there's just not a lot of camera people in this area. Not overpriced, but you know what I mean? This stuff is kind of expensive equipment. But people were buying some of the artwork even then. And I ended up, let me just show you. I got a couple things and I'll just show you what I ended up getting. Okay, so my little bag. So I did pick up this little bottle holder. I think it's got like a monogram on it, and I think it's just plated, but it's kind of cool. And so I just grabbed that. She charged me $2 for it, so that wasn't so bad. And then the rest of everything I got was books. So here, let me pull the books out and then I'll get back to you. So I just got some of these. It was just my gut. I didn't bother looking things up, and you know, I've picked stuff like this up before and it's not worth a ton, but it's a Nikon F pocket companion. I don't know. Probably if I had had more time and felt more comfortable looking up every single book, I would have. I did look this one up, 50 Years of Leica. I just thought it was like a really cool cover. There's like there's a few for sale on eBay. There's a sold like for $10 or something like that. But this is something that might also do better on Etsy. So all of these actually. And then if anything, we'll just sell it together with this, like of the first 50 years. You know, some other people might not have had the two things together. Let's see, some of the other books. Oh, look at my dirty car. So they must have lived in San Francisco at some point. One whole bookshelf of San Francisco books. Like, I wish I knew more. I didn't want to come home with a bunch of books. There was a bunch of books about war. There was a bunch of books about trains and San Francisco, some cookbooks, things like that. But I'm not primarily a bookseller, and I didn't want to just come home with stuff and then books are tricky and find out that they're not worth a ton, and then I'm stuck with these books, right? And I got my price when I checked out, so I wasn't quite sure what the discount was when I went into it. So I just decided to pick some stuff that I just thought was interesting myself, and I'll show you a couple more. Hold on. Okay, I thought this one was interesting. It's the official guide to the Panama Pacific International Exposition in San Francisco in 1914. There were some comps for this. I think I'm missing my back cover, so that will be problematic. Got some coffee stains, but it's really interesting. It's actually from 1915, and it's got the little fold-out map and everything. So I don't know, I might get $10 or $15 for that. Oh, another Nikon guide. And this one's interesting. I haven't looked it up yet. The Hotel Butcher, Garde Manger, and Carver. And this book, let's see, what's this from? 1916. Suggestions for the buying, handling, sale, and service of meats, poultry, and fish for hotels. Basically the hotel industry. So if you look at some of these pictures, this might actually be a really cool book. So I don't know. I'll do some research and I'll pop up a comp here if I end up finding anything. Yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, if this sale was in a different area, Seattle, that place would have been emptied. There was still mid-century furniture there. I mean, if I had room, I'd have been tempted. Oh my goodness. And anyway, it's true. The lady who runs this business, estate sale business, she was so happy. There was a guy who had come and bought some artwork, and he had bought that Mobile artwork, the one that kind of looked like a Calder. I'm pretty sure I'll put footage now if I didn't earlier. But anyway, he was tickled pink, right? And so she was just like, oh, I'm so glad, because, you know, nobody even looked at that. And I told her, I said, well, I went in, I like took pictures. I want to research the artist when I get home. I'm just curious. And she's like, oh yeah, I saw you. But she's like, yeah, definitely people don't care about that in this area, right? It's not. It's this area is all about rustic and cabin and that kind of look. And so it's a hard time. Even if I wanted to like buy any of that to resell, I'd have to be able to ship stuff because it's just really hard to find a buyer. Anyway, so while I'm in this neck of the woods, I'm going to go to a thrift store that I don't normally get to on a regular basis. So let's just make it a thrifting day, and maybe I'll hit Goodwill on the way back too, if there's time. So let's just see what else we find today, okay?
I know, I saw that, I thought about telling you about it, but good lord. It's huge. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like this thing.
Here's a quick view of my cart from that thrift store. We've got some Bionicle from Mr. Pish Posh, flatware for me, Polly Pockets to research, and a pattern of what was in my cart. And let me just show you real quick what else I got that was after that. So I had a pile of stuff in my cart that I wasn't sure about. I looked it up. I ended up putting it all back. But then it turned out it was a good thing I went back to the patterns and put some back, because then I found this. It is the Daisy Kingdom Victorian wedding gown. As you can see, it's a sewing pattern. It is crazy cottagecore, boho, hippie, gunny sack style stuff. And so I looked it up. I paid $5 for it. It sells for about $25. And I also got a vintage Echo utensil to add to my vintage utensil empire. I got a new in package, sorry, we're backlit here. It's a Pampered Chef ice cream scoop. It's like $15 or so. And I got one of my favorite little utensils, the cheese slicer from Norway. So all in all, it was a successful trip. My family will be happy. My husband with the Lego, and my son with his little tech decks, whatever, skateboard, fingerboards. And I think I will stop probably at Goodwill on the way home, because I've been out of town. You know, my normal stops have been neglected. Gotta go see what they've got. Anyway, I will take you along. Okay, so let's take a minute and look up this Space Maker and see if it's still selling for good money. Just looking real quick into eBay and eBay solds. And here we go. So the used ones look like they're going like 25 or 30, but the ones in the boxes are still doing much better. And the one, well, that was fun. I'm always so non-stressed out in thrift stores. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of my place to kind of chill out. So yeah, I ended up with the, hold on, Black & Decker. We saw that. That was a good find. And as long as everything is in there, it looked like it was, and in good shape and everything like that, that could be close to $100. The box is a little trashed, but that might not matter. And then I just got the 2 bags of flatware. It was IKEA flatware, and I went back and forth because IKEA, there's some good patterns. Data is probably the most common, like, good pattern that sells. And this one's nice looking. I couldn't find it real quick on replacements. I was just doing a search, not like a picture search. And then I went over to eBay and I looked at solds, and I found someone who had sold a teaspoon for like $5 or something. And figured out the pattern name. And it was a pattern I had seen on replacements. I just wasn't positive because the handle curves down. And a lot of times replacements will mention that in their description, and I don't think they did. I could be wrong. Anyway, 2 bags of flatware, and then I got that bag that had those little Tanala little ornament type things, little hanging tiles. I've sold one of those before, or 2 of those or something. But anyway, they should do fine. So I am headed home now. That's it for me for today for thrifting. It should be. I should go do some work and some listing. Okay, I'm interrupting to say I was not telling the truth, and I stopped at one more place on the way home. And now the sun is back out again, so that's nice. It's not raining anymore. So there's one thrift store on my way home. I was driving right past it, and it was closing in like 20 minutes, but I'm like, I'm just gonna hit like coffee mugs and accessories and flatware. And I'm glad I checked the flatware. Excuse me. There wasn't much new, but there were 4 of these knives. Now, this cracks me up. So if you guys remember the story of my Pottery Barn flatware, I don't know if you remember that or not. But anyway, I had gotten some flatware that was very sleek looking, very nice, nice quality. And it was just marked stainless Japan. But I took a chance on it. I bought some forks and spoons. It was the same thrift store. Brought them home, did some, image searching, and found out they were Pottery Barn Audrey, and that they were actually like selling for pretty good money. And so I've sold some forks. I made really good money on what I've sold so far. I think I have a few pieces left. Well, when I had looked at, they're all just marked stainless Japan. When I had gone back to do my research, I realized that they're marked Pottery Barn on the knives, and that the knives were actually worth a good amount. So I went back to this thrift store the next day, looked for knives, found one, but it was beat to death. Like, it was all bent and everything. But sure enough, it said Pottery Barn on the side of it, on the blade. But the other ones I had seen the day before were gone. So, okay, we're still going. Low battery again. Today they were there. Okay, so I don't know. And so I found one. One is marked Pottery Barn right on the blade. The others are just marked stainless Japan. But like, were they, there's so many knives at thrift stores. Like, were they buried under all the knives, like as people dug, and I just didn't see them? And then somebody dug them back out and put them in a different area? I don't even know. But I'm grateful. So I'm gonna list my 4 little Pottery Barn Audrey knives. And glad I swung in there. I paid $1 for those 4. Anyway, on with my story. But anyway, I hope you had fun on this little thrift adventure. I just wanted to do it vlog style, easy peasy, just so I don't have a whole lot of editing to do, and hopefully I can get the video out a lot quicker. And I'll probably go home and work on editing this. And anyway, let let me know, guys, how things have been going for you with your reselling and thrifting, and if you found anything awesome lately at the thrift store. And I will should have a few videos for you in the upcoming week. I got to get back into my schedule, figure out some software issues that I was having, and hopefully we'll have some good stuff to talk about this week. And I will let you go.